We travel to escape. We run from fire, expecting to find water. When the world around you crumbles into the chaos of war, your entire existence shrinks into a single, desperate desire, just to find a place where the sky is quiet. This is Iryna. She was 23. She survived the sirens. She survived the missiles, the cold basements, and the terror that rewrote the fate of her homeland, Ukraine. She crossed an ocean to find peace. She thought she had finally found it in the green, quiet streets of Charlotte, North Carolina. Pause and think about this. When you survive the absolute worst humanity can throw at you, do you let your guard down? When the trauma of war finally begins to heal, does your mind trick you into believing that the rest of the world is completely safe? To understand the weight of this tragedy, we have to understand what Iryna left behind. She wasn't just a statistics-seeking refugee. She was a daughter, a friend, a young woman with a future that had just been handed back to her. In America, she wasn't hiding anymore. She was breathing. She was building a life, step by painful step, far away from the front lines. For months, the loudest sound she heard was the hum of the city. The most dangerous thing she had to navigate was a new language. On the evening of August 22nd, 2025, Iryna stepped onto the Lynx Blue Line train. It was just a normal Friday night. The carriage was cool, mostly empty, bathed in that clinical, pale fluorescent light we all know so well. She took a seat. She looked ahead. She was just going home. We often look back at the final moments of a victim's life and wish we could scream across time to warn them. But Iryna did nothing wrong. She took a public train in a civilized city. If doing everything right can still lead to catastrophe, how do we ever truly find peace of mind? Sitting just one row behind her was a shadow, a 34-year-old man named DeCarlos Brown Jr. He didn't know her name. He didn't know her story. He didn't know about the war she had escaped, or the family waiting for her call. In a world that makes sense, human beings require a reason to hurt one another, a dispute, a robbery, an argument. But here, there was only silence. Without a single word, Brown produced a knife. 3 strikes, that was all it took. In the quiet, enclosed space of a moving train car, a life that had survived a war was extinguished in seconds. When the doors opened at the next station, Iryna was gone. The man told his sister Tracy about this. A video of their conversation on September 11th was published by the Daily Mail tabloid.
So you said something in your body did what?
Nah, the material, put it like this, the material using my body to stab the lady.
And so she just got stabbed.
Yeah. You know that's not me. I'm talking about just for no reason. But since they did that, now they gotta investigate the material in my body exposed to. Since they want to do all that, now they gotta investigate.
Funny because she's from the Ukraine. She's from Russia, and you know they got a war. They had a war going on against the United States. So I'm just trying to understand. Out of all people, why her?
That's hey, it ain't. I don't have nothing. They just lashed out on her. That's what happened. They lashed out on her. Whoever was working the material, whoever was working the material, they lashed out on her.
When I stabbed her, I injured my hand. I didn't know this woman. I had never spoken to her, not a single word. That's scary, isn't it? Why would someone attack someone else for no reason? The Post reads. In his opinion, the government implanted foreign materials into his brain that controlled his actions, and he wants an investigation into this. The attacker's sister notes that her brother shouldn't have been out on the street at all. She blames the state for everything. How does a human mind process pure, unprovoked randomness? We can lock our doors against thieves, and we can flee from armies. But how does a society protect its citizens against a malice that asks for nothing, warns for nothing, and strikes without a reason? The aftermath was a storm of noise. Federal prosecutors stepped in, demanding the ultimate punishment, the death penalty. The tragedy became a weapon in political debates, spoken about on national television, but inside the courtroom, the noise turned into a frustrating, echoing silence. By mid-2026, the legal system came to a dead stop. A judge ruled that Brown's mind was too broken to even understand what he had done. He was sent away to a medical facility, not to be punished, but to be treated, to be restored, so that one day he might finally understand why he is standing in front of a judge. Consider the cruel irony for Iryna's family. They watched her flee a lawless war, only to watch her killer be protected by the meticulous, slow-moving laws of peace. When the system pauses justice to heal the mind of the perpetrator, who is left to hold the hands of the grieving. Following the court case, Iryna's story sparked a nationwide, multi-million-dollar mural campaign across major U.S. cities, heavily funded by high-profile figures. While intended as a memorial, these murals quickly became a focal point for political conflict, viewed alternately as a warning of a failing justice system or as political propaganda. The extreme controversy led to the tearing down and defacing of many murals, turning her memory into a battlefield, forcing society to grapple with the political weaponization of a victim's image. They say the mind eventually heals from the horrors of war if given enough time and safety. Iryna Zarutska was never given that time. Her story is a painful reminder that sanctuary is a fragile thing. It is not a place on a map, and it is not guaranteed by an ocean. As you turn off this video and step back into your own life, remember her smile, and remember to cherish the quiet moments, because for some, a quiet evening ride home was a luxury paid for with everything they had. To help our channel grow, please like this video, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you don't miss future episodes. Every crime has a story. Every monster has a beginning. The Dark Archive.